Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Ninth Legion. Let's play some more Stellaris, and we were defeated. We have lost our war against the Drolpathan Forerunners. They stomped all over us. It was terrible. It was like something out of Babylon 5, I swear to God. We just got crushed by a supremely powerful alien race. And we now need to pick up the pieces from this. So we are in a bit of a sorry state. We have no military left. We have lost most of our spaceports. I believe the spaceport in Sol is gone. Yep. The spaceport in Alpha Centauri is gone. We do, however, still have a few remaining. But overall, it's not great. Where do we actually have some spaceports remaining? Okay, we've got one above Congo. And we should have one... at least one more. Do you have a spaceport already? Yeah, okay, so we do have some spaceports. You are at least, you're level 3, so you can build me destroyers at least. So we need to rebuild our navy, we need to rebuild our spaceports. There's a lot of work to be done, really. And yeah, we lost a lot of territory. So we lost both sectors down here in Dastamon and Noilon. We do still have the wormhole generator here, but they've destroyed the colonies here. If we look at those worlds, they have just eliminated the entire populations that were there. All the buildings remain, but the populations are gone. Which I don't know if we can recolonize them. I haven't actually had a chance to look up online and see what that means, if we could possibly recolonize. But I think we don't want to risk it. We can't risk another war. Not yet, anyway. Bear in mind, I do plan on some revenge eventually against them for their attack, which came out of nowhere. But I think for the time being, we are going to have to leave a healthy amount of room around this fallen empire. Because they not only crushed us, they crushed the Gliran Empire, and they crushed the Confederacy of Takanyal. We all lost a substantial number of ships and stations during that. So we're going to need to start rebuilding immediately. Now, to that end, I have already given one of our science ships some new orders. Our big fight here in Dastamon, where we tried to make a stand amongst all our stations and spaceports, did actually net us a couple of kills, particularly this one here. This debris is actually the remains of one of their battle cruisers. We actually took out one of their biggest ships. And I'm hoping, if we can do the research project on that, then we'll be able to actually get some new technology, because they had some very advanced technology and I want it. We also took out a number of transports, so there's a chance that we might be actually pick up something good. What are you actually doing? I don't know what you're doing. You're very badly hurt. I need you to go home and... yeah, you've got to go somewhere and try and repair. Nearest spaceport is actually all the way up here in the Hope sector. Luckily, I think they didn't get up here to do too much damage, so most of our buildings around here should still be intact. Now, the other problem is we are humiliated, which means we are losing 33% of our current influence. So actually gaining negative 0.77. We're losing influence every month. And we are in the midst of trying to integrate the Gliran Empire. Now, we could cancel that, but I think if we're ever going to progress much farther against them, we're going to need this territory integrated. Because we can make much better use of it than they can. I mean, if we look at the Gliran Empire, they hate us now because the relative power of subjects, they're actually more powerful than us because I think they still have ships remaining. So there's a chance... yeah, their fleet power is overwhelming compared to ours because we have none. So first thing we've got to do is get a fleet being built again. Now we could cancel the integration, but I don't know. I don't want to lose the war and then cancel this integration. Although we do still have 228 months remaining. The only way around this is we're going to have to cancel one of our policies. And we've had this policy for a while. The Encouraged Free Thought, that gives us a bonus to our research. But if we get rid of that, we will actually be gaining 0.07 influence. But, I mean, essentially, we're going to be very poor on influence gain for a while now. So we're going to have to play this game a bit more carefully. That humiliation is going to last a long time. In fact, can we actually see how long that's going to last for? We are humiliated for 20 years. God damn. 20 years, that is terrifying. Okay, well, that's all done. We lost the war. We were defeated completely. We have a new election campaign underway, which we're not going to be able to do anything about because I can't spare the influence for it. But they did assassinate our president. Even in victory, they were dicks. We had another fleet combat over Turim? No debris, though. Whatever they did in Turim, we didn't manage to take any of them out. Oh, it looks like our station here is actually pretty badly damaged. Can I actually see your status anywhere? Details, there we go. Yeah, hull points are down to 758, so the war ended just before they took out this station. Which isn't great. However, there are a couple of good things that have come out of this. Not only do we have a chance to get some ancient fallen Empire technology if we can salvage some of the wrecks that we've got around here, and I think there might be some more. I feel like we took out some more transports somewhere. Yeah, it looks like we took out some transports in Sirius as well. So there's a chance we could get some more technology from them, some quite advanced technology if we're lucky. The other advantage is that because we've now lost a whole bunch of population, some of our research actually finished, so we now have armoured torpedoes. We also now have hostile environment adaptation, giving us a plus 5% boost to our habitability. So because we lost so much population, we actually... Yeah, that was a completely one-sided fight against the spaceport. Spaceport didn't even get shots off. God damn. So yeah, that's good. We can research faster now, which will help. Got an inactive building on Congo. What is inactive here? Planetary capital is inactive. Why is the planetary capital inactive? That's terrible. We've got plenty of food here. Go work that, for God's sake. Everyone's going to be a little bit unhappy because of the... Oh wow, we get orbital bombardment. And minus 10% for being humiliated. To minus 10% for 10 years. That's a lot. 20 years even. God, that's even worse. Okay, we're not going to worry about that. Powerful pop factions. Kunda and Xenos United are up to 60%. Good God. Okay, I don't think we can do much about that either. Oh, and we have a Pobolina popular faction who wish to make their sector independent. Independent Pobolina sector. Why isn't it independent Pobolina sector? Oh, I guess the sector is Pobolina. Although you are not Pobolina, you are Kunda. Fair enough. Well, again, I can't do anything about that. We could just give up on that. I can't afford the influence to actually do anything about... I mean, this is going to be very difficult to manage. We're going to have to see what happens when that actually happens, because I can't stop it now. So, fair enough. But right, let's start looking at our research. So, 20 months until we get barrier point defense. That's fine. We could unlock... Ooh, deep sinkhole removal. How long is that going to take? 19 months. So yeah, the research times drop significantly because of our low population now. It's actually a good... It's kind of a good thing that happened. In a terrible, terrible way. I guess we'll take... Yeah, we'll get the tire blockers done. And engineering... I mean, unlocking battleships would be kind of nice. I kind of feel like there's a need for them. Though I would also be interested in carrier operations, basic fighter wing and basic bomber wing. That'll take 81 months. We have lost a huge chunk of research, because losing these sectors is not just the population in the buildings, but we've also lost access to all of these resources they were giving us, which is one reason why our energy income is quite low at the moment. So, what are we going to do? First things first, we've got to start building up a few more... We need to get some spaceports going so we can build our fleets back up. So we're going to have to go from the very beginning again. Now, one thing I noticed was we were getting outranged a lot by those Fallen Empire warships. I'm wondering if maybe when with missiles, we'd be better off, because missiles usually have a longer range. But I guess we should probably just stick with lasers, because we know they work. So let's get that building. Anyone who doesn't have a spaceport is going to start building spaceports again. Anyone who has a spaceport is going to start building me corvettes. But before we do that, we're actually going to redesign a bunch of them. Because I feel we learned something from everything that was happening there, really. And I wasn't terribly impressed with how our ships, even though they were massively outmatched, I wasn't quite happy with how they were handling themselves. So we're going to take a look at our corvettes. We did switch these around so they had disruptors for that 100% shield damage bonus, and they also had the small shard throwers, because they do pretty good damage for not too much power. But their range is also quite short, and I felt that together they weren't matching up very well. So what we actually are going to look at, we do have armor torpedoes, which we just unlocked. These are actually pretty good, and a range of 40. Now, corvettes are pretty handy because they're small, they're fast, and they're highly evasive. You need to be using small weapons to actually target them. If we fit these with armoured torpedoes, not only are they quite accurate, if we look at this, accuracy 100%, so they're quite good against other corvettes, you know, as a base statistic. If you look at, say, the blue lasers, which have an accuracy of only 82%, so armoured torpedoes will do pretty good. They'll also do 100% shield penetration. Now that's not shield damage, they just ignore shields and hit the hull immediately. The other advantage to this is, because corvettes are very small and manoeuvrable, they're good for taking down larger ships. Destroyers, cruisers, battleships will all have trouble targeting them. So I'm going to build these things as missile boats that are basically just going to be there to destroy capital ships. So we're going to change this around. So I'm going to keep that small disruptor on them for shield damage. I think that's going to help just in a fleet fight, because they'll always be operating with other ships. And not everyone's going to be using armoured torpedoes that just blow through. Although, actually thinking about it, I just want firepower out of these things, really. Just give me firepower. Now we've got the defensive combat computer, which does give us extra evasion, plus 10% hull points as well. We've already maxed out those, and we've maxed out that. So they're about as good as they can get. Power is dead on, actually. That's good. So we're going to save that as the new Mulder's class. So from now on, our corvettes are our missile boats. Now, we're going to need something to fight against corvettes when they're coming at us. So this is where our destroyers are going to come in. Now currently we've got Faithbreaker and Flash Bulwark on here, with 2 small lasers and a large disruptor. But I want to change that around. I don't want one large weapon on this. I'm going to want the Fortune Breaker, and that's actually going to give us a bunch more options. So we will take, let's see, we will take 1 disruptor on this, and everything else is going to be small lasers for the extra damage. So it will be good at shields, and it will be good at dealing with everything else. If we do autocomplete, we can get a lot of shields on this thing. 300 shields will do pretty well. We've got 600 hull points in there. Wouldn't mind some armor, but I think shields are going to be better than armor, personally. So these are our destroyers, and they're basically here to just kill other stuff. They'll be pretty good against destroyers, because small weapons can target destroyers quite happily, but they'll also work well against corvettes. So let's save that. Now our other variant of this was the PD class, and you've just got a whole bunch of sentinel point defense with 1 medium laser. And I think I'm actually going to leave that as is. Although possibly we don't need that many point defense. So a bunch of blue lasers and some point defense. That should help out quite a lot. So they'll be a bit better in a straight up fight. Now, lastly, we do have our Klosterman class cruisers. Now, for these, we did have medium fusion missiles, point defense, and a lot of blue lasers. So, what do we actually want to put on this? I can't quite. I mean, we could change some of these around. But ideally, these are going to be wanting to target. We want them to be able to attack destroyers and battleships. So a few medium weapons, which is what we've got: large, medium, a couple of smalls to protect themselves, missiles. We're going to change that for the torpedoes, actually. There we go. Okay, we're negative with power now. Well, we might have to switch out one of those for another reactor. That actually gives us too much power. What's the best way of doing this? Autocomplete. You're putting arm on. Don't want. Yeah, I suppose 1 armor actually. That's not too bad. 450 shields. Okay, we'll leave that be. We will go for aggressive on these guys. So we get the fire rate and rep and damage. They've got 1200 hull points, so this should hold up pretty well. Save that. So there we go, that's our fleet redesigned. I think this will work out pretty good. He says, hopefully to himself. You can stay for that. I want my corvettes to stay evasive though. Right, so with that done, we can start looking to actually start building some ships before we get wailed on by all the other empires because we're so weak. So we're just going to start churning out as many corvettes as we can at the start. Now we should have more spaceports because not only our directly controlled worlds have them, so there should be some around some of these worlds. I think those worlds we haven't rebuilt any on. What about here? Fract might have one. Oh god, they're still here. Jesus, that's kind of terrifying that the ancient forerunners are still flying around my systems. I could do without that. Ah, there we go, there's another one. Right, you're currently upgrading. How long is that going to take? Well, okay, we'll let you do that and then queue up some more. We've just got to rebuild our military as fast as we can at this point. Oh, more debris in here. That's interesting. Why is there debris here? I can't imagine that's from the Forerunners. I just don't think we would have had the firepower there to actually take out any of their ships. Now, luckily, this area does still have its spaceport as well. I could start building some destroyers. I mean, this spaceport isn't actually any better at building corvettes than anything else, so I guess you might as well start building some of those PD. Yeah, let's get a couple of PDs and a couple of non-PDs. So we'll have some destroyers in the queue as well. And I think that's probably all of our spaceports. It's a bit hard to see because you can't always tell which one of your sectors actually has them at the moment. Now we've got a lot of construction ships which aren't doing very much. So did we lose any mining bases in our own territory? Can't see it. What are you doing? You're a science ship. Okay, you're doing sciencey stuff, that's fine. Right, there's some energy there we're going to want. So you can come over and get that. I don't think they took out any mining bases. It was a very quick war. Looks like we might have lost a research base here. Alpha Centauri. We do need to get more research again. Sirius, I think that energy is actually on the planet. Yeah. So there's nothing else to grab there. Fact, looks like it lost a mining station though. So you can come and grab that for us. And that will hopefully start our recovery. Now, one thing we can do is possibly resettle in Sirius. It's very far away from them. They didn't say anything about never resettle these worlds again. They just made us abandon them. We obviously don't want to take these ones close to home, or close to their home. But I think we might be able to actually try and recolonize that once we've actually got some spaceports and we've got our military sorted out a bit. Because, like I said, we do still have all of the buildings here. We just don't have any population for it. But I think we'll have to see. So this is a very quick kind of recovery episode, and we haven't even unpaused the game yet. But I'm going to take a break here, and next episode we're going to see how see if we can drag ourselves back from this. We do have a decent chunk of energy in the bank. We've got plenty of minerals. Our influence is stable. And eventually the Glirin Empire will join us. So we might be able to come back from this defeat. We'll have to see how we can do. And it's not like there aren't plenty of other colonizable worlds out there that we can try and take should we feel the need. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this enjoyable. Do feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you did. And hopefully I'll see you later for the next one. Bye.